Hmm. In that case, we'll finish my philosophical questions and start off with the real question.
That I did not study
Can you tell
for.
us about who you are? Who are you? And what do you do in life, be it in VR chat, in real life, or whatever you're comfortable to share with us tonight?
Yeah, let me just dox myself real quick. Hello, I'm Andrew Corbell. I used to have a boring job back when COVID hit, like the day of the toilet paper crisis. I started as a pharmaceutical technician, and I found it to be very much more fun to just be on VR chat, not full time, but just the things you could get up to and the music you could share. And then from there, I over the time over the years, I have discovered that I wanted to do this full time. So what I do now, as a content creator and a streamer, I go out of my way to put on big old events, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I do this full time.
Ah, that's great.
I quit my
Full
job to
time
do
for
this
the
full time.
win!
Yeah.
And what is your greatest passion in life?
uh, I just like people's reactions. I wouldn't call it a hobby. I like to get people's reactions when I see
Mm.
people that are happy and people that are saying like, "Hey, this is better than like an actual festival, like in real life," or "Hey, this is my first time that I've experienced something like this on VR." I couldn't be any more happier.
So
So
it's the positive commentary, it's the positive reactions that people have of the experiences that you bring to them,
yes,
and the
that's what
joy
fuels
that they
me.
feel.
Yes. I don't
It is
usually
your
get to
carburant, as
enjoy.
I would say in French.
I don't usually get to enjoy my own stuff, but I get to watch as people enjoy themselves. So that's what fuels me. People inspire me, and yeah.
I know the feeling. I co-founded an anime convention back in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and haven't stopped since. And in 2023, we had 3,000 attendees.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild.
Excellent, excellent.
So yeah, I know the feeling of having to see the reaction, see them really appreciate all the hard work that you've done in
Mm-hmm.
the shadows,
Uh
and
huh.
they don't necessarily know what you did, but they love it and they experience it to the
Yeah.
fullest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
If you put yourself
And
in the forefront of that, I don't like to put my name on stuff. The most the biggest thing my name even made it was on like the lineup list itself, and like the ticket in is just my event group. But yeah, it's pretty much all I endorse when it comes to me. If not, it's under a name. I get creative with it, and yeah, we put on big shows and we do great things together.
and what are the important aspects in your life that brought you to where you are right now artistically?
um I music wise, back in, I believe, like 20, what year is it now? 2013. No, 2012. My choir teacher, she contracted cancer, and we all didn't want to perform that day, or not that day, that year. She unfortunately passed, and we did not want to perform. We were given an out to do so, and ever since then, I'd say for the last 9 years. No, that was 11 years ago. So for the last around 9 years, I didn't do anything music wise. I did it as a, not as a profession, but as a hobby, and because I was sad, we were all sad, and it kind of killed our passion that we felt back in school. But that has changed since then. She wouldn't want us to sulk, and I also got up to things that kept me busy, so I didn't get to focus on music. Now I am focusing on music once again, and things are going good. From hobby to career, I think it was me being a vocalist on here, being given a chance to even be a vocalist. Because I remember back when I first started here, I had like just a Quest mic, and I didn't know at the time it sounded so bad. But then I recorded myself one day and I realized how bad it sounded. So I bought all the bells and whistles and to get myself going, and that's where we're at right now. I'm one of the
Mm.
hot artists on here, one of the VR idols, and yeah, I'm very proud to share my craft with people, even though I'm just glorified background music.
I kind of get you when you talked about your origin story with your teacher
Mm-hmm.
getting cancer and all that, because back in 2016, I volunteered for the first time for
Mm-hmm.
the Japanese Consulate General in Montreal, and the
Mm-hmm.
person who was in charge of the volunteers was Lynn Pellerin,
Uh
a
huh.
Quebecer woman who was in charge of the cultural aspect of Japanese culture in a Japanese consulate.
Mm-hmm.
I found that intriguing and fun because she wasn't Japanese and yet she represented culture for
Mm-hmm.
the Japanese people in Eastern Canada. And when I got to volunteer for her, I really saw her dedication, her passion, her she was very devout to to this cause. And after volunteering for her, I was invited to the New Year's Japanese event and met a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the Japanese community in town. And a month or two later, I learned that she had died from cancer. And I attended her funeral because I was invited.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have heard me say a few poems at some point, but
Yes.
I really like writing poetry. And poetry for me is a way to exteriorize myself. And I wrote a poem and put it next to her casket.
Yeah.
And one of her brothers saw me do that and asked, "Can you read that poem?" And after I read that poem, he cried in my arms.
Mm-hmm.
And that day I swore in front of that casket that I would promote Japanese culture for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's very noble.
people inspire us.
My condolences.
Mm.
Mm.
So, but I took it as something positive, as a
Yes.
stepping stone to really move forward and not stop or let go.
Yeah.
Mm. After this very emotional moment, can you share with us what genres of music that you love listening to that inspire you and that you enjoy playing?
Oh, I've done everything. Personally, I put down when I gave up singing back in the day. I put down my guitar and my piano. Hopefully, I get back to that. I want to learn how to do it on VR blind, but that's it. That's probably my winter chore. That was supposed to be my summer chore, but summer has been very busy for me. Um, Now for my genres, I do a little bit of everything. I was doing what is it? My set 2 weeks ago. I was doing Peruvian rap. I was doing I was doing nice soft songs. I was making people cry, just like VKET here. I made some of the ambassadors cry. I do a little bit of everything. I don't think the one thing I haven't tapped into is maybe uh, country as much. I think country I haven't really touched on. I have a couple country songs in my forte, but other than that, I've done a little bit of everything, and I listen to everything as well
Hmm.
because that's what we promote here on VR Chat. I believe most shows, if they don't have this rule, then I don't know what they're doing. But just an expression of everything. I've heard everything. I've done everything, and I know everybody is the same way. They have something new to to present to us, and I've kind of absorbed that, and I appreciate everything.
Hmm. So, my next question is, can you share a bit on the process that you use to learn to play music, to sing?
I was going to take classes last year because of my break and not know it, but then I started just doing it by myself and learning, just putting my own roadmap there and practicing and practicing and practicing. And on VR chat over the last since last May, I've gotten about 5,000 hours in. Most of that time is spent singing or just doing events. So that to be a master of something, I believe it was you need 10,000 hours doing such an doing that topic, and I'm about halfway there. Over the course of the last 11 years, though, I'd say most of my time singing and practicing has been in the last year. Um, but yeah, that's how I go about it. I was going to take classes back in December. I've been told to take classes since then, but I think I want to see what I can do on my own. Um, and for instruments in general, I don't read sheet music. I just go by the sound. I try to have that sense of perfect pitch. Same thing with my voice. I can replicate a singer's like patterns and notes, and in some cases, I'm a voice actor, and I can I know I do a very good Ed Sheeran impression to the point where I live in California, and when I sang Ed Sheeran on the streets, it was and I'm a redhead too, so people thought I was Ed Sheeran. But no, yeah, I
Mhm.
don't have much of a process. It's more of just doing it on the fly. I know for VKET, I was stuck doing everybody's sound checks. I didn't get to do my own sound check and like actually practice my own set until like the day of. So I was scrambling for like the last like 3 hours before the event, and then it turned out perfect. So I'm glad I got to present my VCAT set. But yeah,
Mm.
not much
And
of a
talking about Ed
process.
Sheeran,
Uh huh.
if you heard Doomsday Maverick photography when they sang that song, I almost thought that they were Ed Sheeran when
That's a good
when
song.
they
Yeah.
sang it. It's just so similar to his voice, also.
Yeah. Take a good look at TFM Johnny. I think Ed Sheeran inspires him. He has like 4 songs on his forte, and TFM Johnny does a really good job.
Mm.
I have met some very good Ed Sheeran impersonators here on VR Chat. One of them I think is real because he had people like walking around him and not paying attention. It sounded like it was Ed Sheeran backstage. There's like a bunch
But
of
going
people
back
just
to
talking.
you,
Uh huh.
what do you have in store for personal projects wise that you'd like to share with us?
We just got done with Coachella across Twitch, the PC only world, and the Quest world. We had over the course of 3 days, about a week and a half ago, we had um, was it 11,756 people in attendance across those 3 platforms. And then we will be back with Forcella. I do many projects. Forcella is not one of, or just one of the many. Forcella focused on the furries of virality and all the way across VR chat, people that nobody's ever heard before. So we got to showcase them as well as yeah, the DJ portion, I decided to showcase Naku's Nurtured 2 lineup. We went ahead and we got a bunch of Slyfest and Nurtured 2 attendees, some of the DJs, and we got to showcase them. We all had a blast, and I'd say that more people showed up for Naku than they did for the furries, because Naku is not a furry. He just wanted to attend and dip his toes into the community, and that's what he did. He blew it away. um, but yeah, huge turnout. Thank you guys so much. I'm talking to my
Do
camera.
you have a personal project outside of the known projects that exist already? Something that you'd like to work on for fun?
That was for Cella. I bought the proprietary rights to it, like the trademark and the. I don't really need a business license for an idea, so an LLC. Okay, yeah, I could give you an example of what I'm working on. I wanted to do this about 5 years down the line, but I am going to spearhead this process. I want to start a record label for the musicians of VR chat because I used to say about there used to be about I used to in the known musicians I knew there were about 200 career or hobbyist musicians on here with their studio equipment just ready, just itching to do a project, and that was like 2 months ago. Now I know like 400, and I have them all organized and neat, and I have their applications and all this together, and they're all filed away. So what I want to do is I want to take the idea of a record label where it's usually a 30-70 split. The artist gets like 30% and the label gets 70. I want to flip that on its head and offer a 70-30 split with the artist gets 70% And there's also these fun little things called distribution fees, which is just a nice little word for taxes. What you can do is you can charge those during the. Usually, it's charged throughout the entire life of the artist. Where every check there's these distribution fees that are taken out. I want to go ahead. You could actually charge them during the first check and never touch anybody's check ever again. So that's a very good incentive to join me. I'm gonna go ahead and start that probably mid September, and see where that goes. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, that I was supposed to do that 5 years from now, but I'm being told to either move it or lose it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that spearheaded now. Cella was my passion project. That was with very limited partnerships. If the only partnerships we really had were security, so no outside music partnerships. So that was my baby. I put all my money and effort into that, and since I put the money into it, we will never have to pay for it ever again, except for maybe the streaming infrastructure. And I would
Mm.
like to pay my staff in the future because I have 20 very, very, very dedicated and skillful staff. Probably I'll start a Patreon, or I might find a sponsor outside of VR chat, and I can get some money for my staff. Um, Other than
Mm.
that, I work
I
on
have
many,
three
many
quick
projects.
questions for
Yeah,
you.
go ahead.
Um, can you share a bit about your VR chat and how it has influenced you so far?
It's like I said, the people on here, not just the musicians, but the audience members too. Just their I'm a very reaction oriented type of person. It both inspires me and it fuels
Mm.
me to keep going with the career path that I'm choosing. And from that, many opportunities arise. So I have the people of VR chat to thank. Uh, it used to be just a hobby, getting on here for fun and sharing my music, just sharing my voice, being glorified background music, which I still am. But it's very nice to
Mhm.
put on something as big as we do, and for the public to come see, and then hearing from them like, "Hey, this is better than like an actual festival I would attend in real life," or "Hey, this is a," because you could do
Mm.
whatever you would like in VR chat, or and
And
even from the musicians we hear like, "This is the best stage I've ever been on," like IRL or in VR. This is the best venue we've ever attended. So that's very, very nice to hear.
another question is,
Hmm.
how long have you known Artifacts, and how did you discover this community?
Artifacts, Campfires, and Midnight Melodies. I believe I discovered them during the same time, which would be around January of this year. I was invited to, I was scouted to come perform for, by Gobbet. I was scouted to come perform for FIA. The first ever XPR event that I made it to was the day that I was invited to come on the FIA stage and present myself. And I believe everybody who went on that stage blew it out of the park. There was about 15 of us and like 300 applicants. So I was very lucky to just be picked by somebody I'd never met before. And then from there, I met everybody at Midnight Melodies and Artifacts. So all three of those communities took me in, and I am very lucky to have come across you because I've just been wandering around VR chat, so I wasn't expecting to be welcomed with such warm and loving open arms.
FIA. I definitely agree that FIA is a very nice um, stage to appear upon and to be
Hmm.
projected literally everywhere. I
Hmm.
feel that Fia's YouTube is definitely a big help for that, and also her love of VR chat and the people around her that help her make
Hmm.
things happen are definitely very passionate. And I'm very grateful also that people have gotten to know a bit of Artifacts and Midnight Melodies through these experiences as well, because every time you're in contact with something, you're definitely going to discover something else.
Yeah.
And about something else, I wonder, same thing, but about VKET. How long have you known VKET, and how did you discover this community?
Um, I was unaware of VCAT. I've been playing this since May of 2022. I was unaware of VCAT until summer of this year. I was invited by my streamer or my ex streamer friend. Now she just organizes events for other streamers, which is very noble. That's a very nice cause. Is by Bree Wanderful. And what she did was she invited me on this tour with the only person I knew on the tour was Tone and a bunch of other streamers. And Brie herself attended. And what happened was we were welcomed in by the ambassadors. This was like right after I was told about VKET by I was invited by Midnight Melodies for the lineup for Music VKET 5. So during somewhere around mid July we took an ambassador tour, and that's where I found out the absolute outreach of VKET. I was not expecting it to be as big as it is and to have so much money uh and passion poured
I
into
think
it.
it's 156 million US dollars,
Yeah.
over 150 employees,
Yeah.
mainly Japanese, but
Mhm.
also very, very, very pushed forward by Lun, the
Yes.
technical marketing director. That's a
Mhm.
one-man cheerleading squad worth at least 30 people in of itself.
Yeah. I was not expecting that much money and passion poured into showing off what VR has to offer. And yeah, we had our fun. The entire interactions on my YouTube, and we will be back with pretty much the same crew, same tours, same ambassadors, in for Winter VKET. Alongside Naku, me and Tone were there for summer, and we did a funny little our little comedic bits. But now that we have Naku, it's gonna be a riot. So it was very fun to introduce ourselves to the ambassadors that way, and it was very nice to be picked
Hmm.
for that experience and Music VCAT. It's very overwhelming.
Do you have any last things that you would like to discuss for the next minute or so that you would like to share with the community?
um, I'm not one for plugs. I could just say this. We'll be seeing you to close VCAT on September 2nd. It'll be September 3rd, Japanese time zone wise. And then yeah, I'm Corbell. I'm Andrew Corbell, and I'm very proud to be doing what I'm doing here on VR Chat. Expect big events in the future. Either I will be doing them under my banner or somebody else's, because I'm always brought onto teams. That's about it. I stream on most days, like right now. You can find me at Corbell Plays, and as far as plugs go, nothing else worth mentioning. All this other stuff is on the side. Thank you so much for the interview.
Hmm. Hmm. And thank you, Corbell, for sharing a little bit about yourself
Mm-hmm.
and a lot about your passions and your heart.
Thank you.
With that said, our token.
Ah!
Uh,
All right.
I liked your reaction.
Excellent. Well, thank
Feeds
you.
off your reaction.
Exactly.
So thank you again, Corbell, for your time and sharing a bit about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to you, sweet water, light laughter. Until next we meet, very soon.
Oh, thank you. Ending interview. Goodbye.